So they cannot be included in this verse at any time. Because the intent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it says in the Holy Quran in Surah Yasin, إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن فَيَكُونُ. He does not intend and then purify. He said, okay, I'm going to give you a bath, like you tell your son or your daughter, a child, yes, 6 months, you say, I'm going to wash, give him a bath. You intend and you prepare, warm the water, take time, That is not with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, as soon as He intends, He says, be and it is. It is kun fayakun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's intent is to keep away the filth from Ahlul Bayt. So whenever He is intended, His intent has existed ever since He has existed. So He's kept them away. But none of the companions have stayed away from idol worshipping, except for Imam Ali Raza Rizvi. He is karramallahu wajhahu. Number 1, fajtanibu qawla zur. Stay away from lying, that is filth, impurity. So Sahaba used to lie. We don't want to mention any names. Number 3, innamal khamru wal maisiru rijsum min amali shaitan. Indeed, gambling and drinking are rijs. They are acts of shaitan. So the ones who say astaghfirullah rabbi Imam Ali was drunk and then he led namaz, they don't know ayat tatheer, because ayat tatheer says that they are away from rijs, and drinking and gambling is rijs. Dr. Asar Ahmad recently said this. So he did not know ayat tatheer properly, or he didn't want to know it, to be honest. There are so many other verses in the Holy Quran that explain rijs. So if anyone has any of those rijs, then they cannot be included in Imamat. Is that clear, everyone? I'm ending it here because I see that some of you are tired. We were thinking that drinks will keep coming around, so people stay awake. Inshallah. Anyway, you can have your chai and whatever you want now, and you can ask questions. Now, because of Ayat Tatheer, we again prove that the ones who were present for Ayat Tatheer, they are the ones who are masoom. Infallibility is a must, knowledge is a must. The ignorant and the sinful cannot ever have imamat. So these are the two major qualities. Imams have said many other qualities, but these are the two major arguments that we put forward against the Sunnis. Before I end, I just want to mention the debate of Moulana Bashir Hussain Ansari. The youth may have not heard about him. He was known to be Fatih Texla. There's a city, a small place in Pakistan, where he went, and the Sunni in the time of the British, in the 30s or the 40s. He qualified from Lucknow, India, and he came to the west part of India. There was no Pakistan then. And later on he stayed in Pakistan. He had a debate with the Sunnis. So the Sunnis organized a debate between Shias and Sunnis. The British were the judge, so they put wires in between. Shias were sitting on one side, Sunnis sitting on the other side. 3 ulama came from the Sunni side and 3 ulama went from the Shia side. So Moulana Bashir Ansari said, I promise you that these 2 ulama that have come with me, they will not speak, only I will respond to the people. So they can put forward their argument. The topic was Khilafat, who deserves to be the Khalifa of the Holy Prophet. So the first Sunni Alim stood up and he said, this is a proof from the Holy Quran, this is a proof from the Hadith, this is the historical proof. He said, the answer that has come to my mind, I think will be sufficient for all 3 of them. So why doesn't the second one stand up, Why doesn't the second one come and give his reasons? Why should have Abu Bakr being the Khalifa of the Holy Prophet? So he came and he gave his reasons. The third one came that, he stayed in the Ghar with the Holy Prophet and he cried there. So, that is the basis that he should be the Khalifa. And, they all gave their reasons. He said, now my answer. If they give me an answer for what I have, this is my response to their argument. If they give me an answer, then I'll convert. And I'll wait for their answer for the next half an hour. So they can give me an answer, and if they can't, then we win. So the judges were the British. So they said, okay, fine. What is your argument? He said, according to me, these 3 ulama, Sunni ulama who have come here, they have more knowledge than Abu Bakr himself. So he said, how did you work that one out? He said, well, because in Saqifa when people were saying who should be the Khalifa, Abu Bakr did not put forward any one of these arguments There's these three ulama have said that this verse, and this hadith, and this historical event, none of these proofs for his khilafat. He did not put forward any of these arguments as a proof for his khilafat. When he did not say it for himself, then there are only two possibilities. There are only two scenarios. One, they are not proofs for his khilafat. And if they are not, then Ali is the Khalifa. And he was a usurper. And secondly, these are proofs for his khilafat, but he didn't know them. If he didn't know them, then he doesn't deserve to be the Khalifa because he has no knowledge. He said, if they have an answer, I'm sitting here for the next half an hour. I'm not. But he said, I'll wait for the next half an hour. If they have any answers, then I'll accept. They had no answers, and the British declared Moulana Bashir Ansari to be the winner of that debate. Just with that small argument, he finished the whole argument. And he became the conqueror, yes, of the city. That's why they call him Fatih Texla, yes. So if inshallah you all have arguments, and you should always be confident. In debate, never let the other people ask questions. Rule number one. You always ask questions. You put forward your arguments. Number two, never ever, rule number two, never ever indulge into an argument which you are not strong in. If your topic is Imamat, and they are talking about, not Khilafat, but for example, Nabuwat, you should not be entering it. If they're talking about the wives, you should not be entering it. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam told each one of his students, he said, you are not supposed to talk about Tawheed because you don't have enough knowledge. You are not supposed to talk about Imamat because you don't have enough knowledge on it. You talk about Tawheed and you talk about, he told each one of his students. And for some, like Abu Hanifa, Imam Abu Hanifa of Ahl Sunnah, he said to him, you only stayed with me for a little period and you have no knowledge. Therefore, you should not be teaching at all and don't give any fatwas. So he said, I promise you, I will not. He said, you are lying. As soon as I leave here, you're going to make up stories against me, and all of these questions. Imam had a whole debate with him and asked him the questions. He said, all of these questions, and I've asked you. I only asked you these questions because in the history people would have said, Ja'far al-Sadiq had a debate sat down with Abu Hanifa, but did not question him. I only questioned you to prove in the history that I was against you. Wallahi, idha aftayta halakta wa ahlakt. If you gave a fatwa, then you will destroy yourself and anyone who follows you. You don't deserve to give a fatwa. And the Imam said, as soon as I leave, you will start giving fatwas again. Because the love of this dunya has entered your heart. You are destroying the hereafter for yourself and all the ones who follow you. Majority of the Muslims are Hanafis and they follow Abu Hanifa. Imam al-Islam told him not to give fatwas. So please do not indulge into arguments when you don't have knowledge. Come and ask before you go into these arguments. I am expecting that each one of you should be able to do the argument that I've done tonight as I have done it. I've tried to keep it as simple as possible. Inshallah, you'll be able to, all of you should be able to do it in this way. Inshallah. Yes? I hope I did not cause any confusions. I hope the arguments became clear. I have tried to keep it as simple as possible. I did leave some arguments out because I wanted to keep it short. Some of these topics I can go on for hours. But I know it's the month of Ramadan, we want to all learn, but not. I was a bit tired today, so inshallah tomorrow I'll try and make it more interesting in Vilayat. Any questions or responses?
Not a question, but just to let the audience know that on Saturday, generally we do our Quran Khani with the third period of our school students. So therefore the Quran Khani will be done prior to Namaz Maghrib.
Excellent.
Which means that after you finish your lecture, whenever they get their tea done, we can assemble here.
So inshallah probably tomorrow rather than 11, we'll start at 10 and finish by 11. So we'll have an early night tomorrow. That'll be better for me and for everyone else. Thank you.